Welcome back to Midlife by Design. It's a new year, my midlife mavens, and I have a new kind of pod for you. I am starting a new series called Chart Chats, where I am meeting with a guest and they get the chance to ask a question, and we look at the chart and I pull some threads and give them some answers and some clarity. And it's a chance for you as listeners to become more familiar with the human design language and start to understand how different parts of the chart connect and play out in real life. And it's also a chance for you to understand more deeply what it is that I do when I work with clients. So I'm your host, Lori Lisai, human design
Welcome
teacher
back to
and
Midlife by
coach,
Design. Today
here to help
I
you
have
use
with
human
me
design
Perez,
to shed others'
and
expectations
we are going
and be who
to
you
talk
came here to
about
be.
Jack's chart.
Today we're
and
looking at
do
Jack
a little
Perez's
mini
chart,
coaching episode.
and
So
she is
thank you
both
so
the
much,
founder
Jack,
of
for being
Cool
here.
Life,
And can you tell the
which
audience
is
just a
an
little bit
online
about yourself
platform
first
for
of all?
midlife women,
I would love to, Lori.
and
Thank
a
you so much for
freshly
inviting me.
published
I'm Jacqueline
author
Perez. I go by Jack.
at the ripe
I
age
am
of
an entrepreneur.
beautiful 60.
I run a
She
digital
has
platform
written a
called
book of
Cool Life,
poems
which
that
is dedicated to
being
normalizing
released
aging for
in
women.
just
And
actually
how I
when this
approach it
episode
is
comes out, it
through
will be
highly
tomorrow.
relevant curated
So
content
exciting.
from
I
over
will drop the link in the
65
show
global
notes for
experts, women
you
from
to
around
check
the
that
world,
out.
who are
Let's dive
currently
into Jack's
helping
chart.
women in all of the avenues, all of the opportunities and challenges that come at this time. So everything from menopause to empty nest to the gray divorce to getting back in the dating game. I mean, how do you date with a dry vagina? This is important information. We talk about it. And I most recently published a book. So I'm a first-time author at 60, which is so crazy to me, but I'm excited. I'm excited. So yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you are doing for, middle-aged women. I think your resource, Cool Life, is so incredibly amazing and such a wealth of information and true help, which I think we need in this phase of life. We need to feel seen and heard and supported. And you've done such a beautiful job of doing that. So I am going to pull up your chart and share that here so we can take a look at that together. And Jack, do you have a specific question or kind of an area that you'd like to look at today?
I do, Lori. I do. I said that I'm a fresh off the press author, right? I just published a book, and this is actually it right here. And I wrote it in 30 days. And it
Wow.
is poetry, which isn't commercially popular, which, but it's what I wrote. It's what came out of me. And it came out of me in 30 days. And I love to understand because it's confusing to me. It's like, well, where did this come from? Like, how did all of a sudden out of nowhere? Because it's not like I'm a long time poetry writer. I'm not. But I typically write essays, and I have been writing what I call Jack's Smacks essays for years. And you can find those on Cool Life. And I write about all, kind of, and I'm a little bit, I'm sarcastic and a little tongue in cheek and somewhat self-deprecating. They're supposed to be funny, but they also touch on all of the trials and tribulations about being in midlife and whatnot. But the poetry in 30 days. So can you look at that and tell me where that came from? Or is that just, I don't know. That's my question. I'd like to better understand that about me.
Yeah. I love that. That is amazing. And I have writing background as well, and just wanted to give you kudos for, creating something and getting it out there. That whole process is quite a feat. So congratulations to you. And then, from a human design perspective, so you are a 3/5 splenic projector, single definition. And there are definitely a couple of things I see in your chart that would point to, your ability to be able to do this. The first thing that comes to mind is your gate 15. So gate 15 is the gate of extremes. It's the gate of, just exactly what you described, this flurry of things. And its opposite is gate 5, which is more about routine and kind of taking things one step at a time, but just having a very specific routine versus 15, goes off the rails for 3 months and then comes back or whatever the case may be. And what's beautiful is that it's in your north node and you're 60, and so you are really coming into this embodiment phase of your north node in this phase of your life. And what a beautiful way to express that with the gate 15, just having a body of work come out of it. So that's the first thing I would say. And it's also in line 5. And line 5 energy, which you also have as your unconscious profile line. Line 5 energy it's called the universalizer. So its intention is to take big ideas and boil them down to their essence and share them. So tell me about your book.
This is just too funny. I have goosebumps all over me right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're poems. So I had been writing essays, which, 5, 6, 7, 800, 1,200 words, 1,500 words, 2,000 words. And I, at 60, decided, oh my God, I need to figure out how to use less words, because who has time for all of these words? I'm 60. I'm, running out of time, and I want to get these thoughts across. What is a better vehicle? And I think that's how the whole poetry thing happened, was just to really streamline what the information and the insights that I want to pass on to other women. And in particular, this book is about, it's called Metamorphosis in Stanzas. And it
Okay.
is about all of the changes that women go through in midlife. And so there's a poem about a parenting an adult child called Untethered Threads. And, there's a poem about body image and coming into my own finally at 60 and feeling good about how I look and what my body's doing and feeling healthy and strong. And finally giving a salad the heave ho, because it reminds me of being tied to that thought or that expectation that I needed to look a certain way or be a certain way. And so all that iceberg lettuce that I consumed with lemon juice as a young adult, let that fly out the window. And so I have found these different subjects and topics that I think speak to me in my time right now at 60. But what I'm discovering is that they're kind of universal. They're universal in theme, and they're really resonating with women. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, the whole extreme and finding a way to get that information, to pass it on to somebody else, I'm constantly working on that. So that just struck a nerve.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I couldn't have written a better, embodiment of this gate and the way that you have expressed it. It's such an amazing thing. And I can't wait to read your book. Going back to your profile, you are a 3/5. So that 3-line energy, this experimental energy, I see another beautiful expression of it in trying something new here. And let's also talk about your sun gate, which is gate 53. And gate 53 is all about sparking new beginnings. It's about sparking change within other people and just kind of lighting the fire. It's that, ember kind of thing. So I see some acknowledgement on your face. I would love to hear you express those thoughts.
I can't even tell you how many people in my life will tell me, you are to blame for my third child, or you are to blame for this third dog, or you are to blame because I switched careers, or you are to blame. It is your fault. And they do it with love, and they're very happy about it, because all of these changes worked out in their favor. But it turns
Mm.
that I am a catalyst for change for other people. I feel so lucky that I was gifted that role. I didn't ask for that role. And it's not like I went to school to learn how to be that. It's just who I am. And it's just turning out that way. And so, yeah, I have a lot of historical data to support what you just said.
Hmm. Yeah, and honestly, I think your book has just been released, right? It's relatively new coming out.
It actually gets published officially the 14th of this month. So, like next week. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I just the reason I asked was because I think that this will again be a catalyst. It is a way of catalyzing other women, and perhaps it will be that some of your poems will just hit, in certain ways, which is probably exactly what you intend, while also just processing your own experience through that three line. So, what a beautiful way to do that. And especially to share that projector energy as well, which is the energy of being a guide. Another thing that I wanted to mention here was the defined throat connected to the spleen and connected to your G center. So, your single definition, these three centers are your only defined centers, and they are all connected to one another. And you mentioned earlier, it might have been before we hit record, that this felt very channeled in a way, that it just sort of came through you. And with your open or undefined head and undefined ajna, it makes sense to me that you are completely open to these bursts of inspiration. And then you have a defined throat, and it is connected to your intuition, and it is connected to your sense of self. And so all of those things in combination allow you to manifest or create through your voice. And again, coming back to what we have as a product here, it's your book. And what a beautiful example of how these three centers can work in tandem with undefined centers, your three defined centers working in tandem with your head and ajna undefined, to create something that is, a body of work.
Partner, next time he tells me I talk too much, that I have to, because my human design throat is so developed.
Yes, you do. 100%. And I would say,
Perfect. I'm going to be like, yes, I have a lot of words.
yes, you're a projector. Projectors have lots of words in general. I mean, I haven't met a projector who is at a loss for words ever. And I mean, you have the thing is, you know better. So it's important for you to use that voice. And you have a lot of defined gates in your throat. It is really important for you to express yourself through your voice. And writing can be one way, but also talking it out would be super important in relationships.
Well, it's also funny because, yes, I wrote the poem book, but what I also did, which I don't think I told you, can you see that QR code?
Mm-hmm.
I basically sat in my closet and recorded each poem in my throat, as you would say. And then, so now if the reader wants to hear the poem in my voice, they can do that. So I kind of made the book a little interactive, but I didn't know at the time. It's not like I've read a bunch of books with QR codes where I could get somebody to read something to me. I didn't know. I made it up, or at least I thought I made it up, but now I understand why.
Yeah, no, that is perfect. And I think what a gift to readers, because, sometimes poetry can be challenging to understand. How did the author really intend this? How is this supposed to be coming across? And obviously, that's sometimes the fun of it, is interpreting what it might be and all of the different possibilities. And it is what you make it. And, other times.
I want you to hear it the way I mean it.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially as a projector, right?
Listen, I'm a projector. I think I needed to write. I think I needed to speak the poems because I wanted to make sure that my intention was clear.
I love that. Absolutely. And what a great way to do it, how you chose to do it. So I'm curious if you would like to read one of the poems for us.
I would, and I have the perfect one for
Okay.
any who is a 3-5, and it's called Restless by Design.
Hmm.
Maybe you're crazy, naive, or blind to think you can keep your life aligned. You work so hard with threads that fray to hold together what slips away. Your home, your heart, the life you fix, you tell yourself to bear the mix. But every decade, like clockwork ticks, you feel the pull of old life tricks. Is it cliche, this restless urge, or is it your nature on the verge? To blow it up, start fresh again, to chase the winds where none have been. Wired for change, for paths unknown, for cities far, for seeds unsown. To sit too still is to wither slow, for in the unknown you truly grow. You balance now on threads so thin, holding tight, yet drawn within. To tear it down, to start anew, it's not a choice, it's what you do. So maybe you'll break, maybe you'll bend, maybe this cycle will never end. Yet in the storm, you find your way, built for the unknown, come what may.
Oh, so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And as I was listening, I was just thinking about not only the 3-5, very such a great message for the 3-5 who is constantly throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, right?
I'm like, any other 3-5 out there is going, guts.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I also hear that 53 coming through too, that need to be the catalyst, the need to break stuff and start over. So it's such a lovely combination and way to express your sun energy. So good, so good. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing here. And thank you so much for, first of all, sharing your chart with everybody, and then for sharing this lovely new book that you have. And can you tell us not only where to find the book, but also, where do we find you and all the things?
So you can find me almost anywhere, but my platform is called Cool Life, and that's spelled a little cattywampus. Lori, it's spelled with a K, so it's Kuel rather than the traditional spelling.
Okay.
And the book is under The Real Jack Smack, but you can find it on Cool Life as well. It's kind of everywhere, but I've incorporated into The Real Jack Smack because I thought all these essays, and I've already started writing like 2 other poetry books because, why not write more poetry books?
Why not?
May not be commercial successes, but it is what is coming out of me right now. So yeah.
I love it. And are they still published?
If you pre-order now, the book is $14.99. It's not going to break anyone's bank. And if you order it like right now, I don't know if you have a link for it, but you get the book, you get the ebook, and you get 10 inspirational digital cards that have like a really cool message. And then there's a QR code on it where you can gift someone a poem.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So the idea is like you can gift a poem to someone.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. What a beautiful way to share your work with people and to inspire and support the midlife women that this book is serving. So that's amazing. And I will definitely drop those links in the show notes for you. And just want to thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you, Lori. This was fun.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Midlife by Design. I just love Jack so much. She has such great energy, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about her human design and how she brings this energy to life to serve other people. In this case, our audience, midlife women. So make sure you click on the link in the show notes to pick up a copy of her new poetry book and be inspired and feel seen, and let her know how much you love what she has to share. And if you are interested in Wild Women by Design, we are kicking off our community of retreat goers very soon, in just a couple of weeks. So we have spots left in the retreat. So if Costa Rica is calling to you, if you can see yourself in the jungle on the beach in late March of this year, then we are ready to welcome you into our group. Please click on the link in the show notes to get all of the information that you need. And until next time, as I close, I'm sending you the strength to release what no longer serves you, joy to fill your days, and clarity to be who you came here to be.